Waiter,
Thank you for
All
beating the
right.
frog.
shut the fuck up, nigga. He looks better than you. I'd rather fuck Canvas than you.
All right, hold on,
What?
hold
Nigga,
on.
what
Chill
are you
out, chill out, chill
saying?
out, chill
Oh,
out.
we're
Hold
doing
on, chill
part
out, chill
one. We're
out.
doing part one. Knowledge only.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yes.
All
You,
right.
yeah.
Give the
Are you
argument.
aware of this statement? Yeah, are you aware of this statement saying like Itachi, I say Itachi, Orochimaru and Hiruzen are equal?
To Orochimaru and
What?
Hiruzen.
Yeah.
In what respect?
Nigga, battle wise, nigga, like them applying abilities in combat.
No, I don't think in a vacuum they would, but in context of what was going on, I think they were performing relative. So I think they would say it's equal like that or some shit like
What do you
that.
mean by a
I don't.
vacuum?
I don't agree in a vacuum. No, I think that's a
Okay,
separate.
okay. What do you mean? What do you mean by in a vacuum?
Well, like if Hiruzen randomly encountered Orochimaru outside of the whole village attack and those other factors, I think
Hmm.
that I don't know. I'm not really motivated to believe that the outcome would have been the same.
So what outside context makes it so like it wouldn't be in a vacuum? As in, if they were fighting like a random place, the reason wouldn't win.
Well, I kind of take it that if Hiruzen has worries about the village, as well as fighting Orochimaru, right?
Hmm.
I don't see anything that proves me that he's at his 100%. Especially as well as stress, other sort of like underlying factors. Like
Hmm.
uh, shoot, it was even the Edo. That could
The
have been a
Ito.
reason why it could even the Edo. Like they could be saying
I mean,
from wait, listen. So like when he summoned the Edo, that could have like fatigued them so much so that they were equal, and the data book was referencing that because anytime the data book talks about the manga, they're just covering different aspects. So I'm just pointing out different scenarios, right? And stuff which I can provide multitudes of motivation for, but I'm usually basically the manga and shit or whatever. But if
hmm
you can provide something that justifies your position or your view on the thing, well, that's cool. But I just need an argument for Itachi beating uh
No, all right,
fucking.
okay. So, are you cool like hyperfixating the idea that he was like worried about the village and shit like that, and why that might have nerfed him? We can go over the whole Edo shit and him being stressed.
That's a possibility. I think it's plausible too. I
Yeah,
could
so
give
yeah,
some motivation.
I want to go over that. I want to go over that specifically. So we see that like not only in the fight specifically, he says that he's going all out because of the fact he's protecting the village. So obviously that variable specifically gives him incentive to go all out. So yeah, he's stressed.
So
Well, I
can
would
you
say he's
stop
stressed,
right there?
but yeah, but I'm saying yeah. And
It seems that you're trying to imply.
also
Hold on.
hold on.
Stop,
Oh,
stop, stop. I said put a pin in it. We're not gonna. All right, cool. So it seems you're trying to imply that just the statement that he's going all out means that what's the name, his thought capacity and stuff like that is focused on these things, and therefore there's no like
that's
other.
not.
Wait, stop. If you're not making that claim, then it doesn't really provide motivation or
I'm just saying. I'm just saying for
defeat the
TLDR. I'm just saying. Hold on, real quick, real quick. Let me clarify. Let me clarify for TLDR.
listen. You're
All
not
right,
gonna understand what you're gonna need to address if you're not gonna let me talk. Okay,
all
cool.
right. My bad, big bro, Fisher.
That's no problem.
That's fucking insane. Anyways, but yeah, all I'm saying is that that's not motivation for the view. I think that him going all out is something that's expected under view because he would still try his best even under these specific conditions to like deal with Orochimaru. But again, Ito are a factor. Like, are we gonna act like this old
Hmm.
man Hiruzen who was making statements about how he would have done better if he was in like his prime or like in his prime? Like there's statements like that. So obviously that implies that he gets more fatigued. He gets fatigued faster than he would normally. So it's like we already know that there's other underlying factors that leads to the conclusion of Hiruzen losing, right? Or are we going to say that he wasn't getting tired throughout the fight? Because that's not narratively implied. So I'm saying, well, given like a lot of these, I can say it's plausible that these are why, in context of the data book statement, that they said they were equal. This does not justify that in a vacuum, Hiruzen would be equal to Orochimaru. I think Hiruzen has more experience in like ninjutsu and has better narrative statements about his mastery of ninjutsu, which would be in his favor in like a fight against Orochimaru. But I
Hmm.
think the underlying conditions, given the fact that it's possible and probable that these things can, stop Hiruzen from being at his best, performing at like a better rate. Obviously, Ito fatigue, worrying, stress, blase, blase, blah. There's a lot of different things, like he's dealing with like life decisions as a Hokage. Like, you know, the mental state directly applies to how good you are performatively in combat in Naruto, right? That's why when people go over certain mental humps, they get increases in combat performatively. So in a vacuum, I'm not really gonna believe that Orochimaru is gonna be on the same level of Hiruzen. But in context, there's motivation for that. Okay, so what's
Okay,
the
so
argument
two
for like
things.
the other? Because if you don't have
Is-
motivation for
Yeah,
the
I know what you're
other,
saying. I know
then
what
it's
you're
not
saying.
probable. Okay, cool. I'm just laying down what you need
Okay,
to do.
I know you're saying. Yeah, you're saying like given these
You're
factors,
so
you're saying like
golden
given.
official.
Yeah, you're saying given these factors, they could have like nerfed him a little bit, right? I'm saying that specifically with because yeah, they given the fact that he was protecting the village and shit like that,
I had
that could
left.
have nerfed him. Okay,
I had
now you
left.
good, you good. Oh, now you good, you good. I
What
was
you?
saying that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it's so fucking loud.
yeah, I know
One
you're
at
saying
a
that
time,
given
one at a
you're saying that.
time, one at a time, one at a time.
All right, go ahead. No, I had to close my door because I live near a little bit of ghetto, so people be coming down here with motorcycles and shit.
Yeah,
And
now you good,
maybe
you good. I
it's
see
just
you.
sometimes blah blah blah. But I closed my door, so you could go ahead and say whatever you got to say.
Yeah, I know them Florida niggas be kind of tooky. I'll buy a mile away at 10 o'clock and it doesn't matter. I ain't go, but like I
Yeah,
was saying, I know
please
you're saying
don't.
that take shit. You're saying given these factors, he could have been nerfed, right? I'm aware of
Yeah,
that. I'm saying specifically,
given the data, we
This
have
nigga sounds
motivation
exactly
for
like Midnight now, bro. Like this nigga is the
given the
sun, bro.
data, so given the data, we have
He
motivation
began
for
the
the
midnight amps.
hypothesis that it's referencing in context and not in a vacuum. I don't think we have any evidence to suggest in a vacuum that Hiruzen and Orochimaru would be equal. So if that's
yeah, I
not
know
going
what
to
you're
be
saying, but
separate,
I'm saying,
because
I'm
you
saying,
understand what
bro.
follows from that.
Okay,
It's like,
I know what you're saying.
okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
the
Okay, let
data
me.
book
Can
statement
I
is not
respond,
relevant to Hiruzen, so you have to
bro?
have evidence that Itachi beats Hiruzen.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
I
laying down.
know. Yeah, bro. Okay, yeah, I know what you're saying, bro. I, I'm saying specifically NXT idea that he was holding back because of the fact he was protecting a village. I'm saying that gets contradicted in the series because I reaffirmed it multiple times that if you're protecting somebody, you get amped or you maximize your capabilities, right? You can
No,
explode a certain amount of yeah. I'm not gonna say you the same.
case
You
by
can
case, and I
maximally.
think that
Oh,
wait, hold on, hold on. Go ahead.
wait, real quick. Okay, chill out. Hold on. You can speak after. You can speak after.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I mean, he says verbatim in the fight that whenever you're protecting somebody you love, in reference to the village, your true strength comes out, right? And that's gonna apply like the maximum strength you can explode. So I'm saying that, yeah, that factor specifically we can focus on. I'm saying that implies more all out rather than it their freaking shit like that.
So do you understand how that's not really motivation for your position? If not, you can explain why it is, but I can explain how it's not really something that's
Yeah,
unexpected under
go
my
ahead.
view. Because I'm saying that he can bring out his true strength, but again, given those other underlying factors like fatigue, age, uh, fatigue in this context or whatever, that can still like follow with what I'm saying. And then again,
Okay,
like
so okay, so
true strength.
why
Hold on,
can't
wait,
he?
listen. Yeah, true strength doesn't really defeat the fact that he can still have other mental draining factors, what affects his overall. Like you're gonna need evidence to like disprove that idea.
So right,
'Cause I think
okay.
both these
So
things can
two things.
simultaneously
I
exist.
would say if anything, okay. I would say that he's probably conserving chakra, right? So like whenever he's fighting the Edo, he wants to use the death seal, right? So I'm saying
Yeah, well,
whenever he's
yeah,
whenever hold on, whenever he's fighting the Edo, right? That can apply that he's conserving chakra to apply to Orochimaru specifically, which means he's conserving chakra. So if anything, he's going back against the Edo,
wait,
so
so
he
that
can still
supports
be.
my idea. If he's conserving chakra, then we have no motivation for anything outside of that in that fight for Orochimaru and Hiruzen being
Because I'm
relative.
saying,
I can
because
wait,
I'm saying,
listen, wait, chill. My whole point is that the whole underlying situation of the Konoha crush and the factors and the mental drain and like the stresses of Okage, his life choices, for example, like
bro, what
I
the
could bring up,
fuck?
like yeah, okay, cool. All of these factors and stuff like that are able to drain him, right? So him bringing out his true strength can be indexed to a certain criteria. Now, whether it's the case that simultaneously these the mental drains can exist with the true strength statement is your burden to prove if it can't, right? I'm saying
No,
I don't really see
okay,
a
hold on,
contradiction.
but real quick, okay,
And then
no, it's
this
what you're
type of
saying.
wait,
I
and
agree,
then
it's
the whole
possible.
and then the whole statement, then you don't have motivation for outside of this specific scenario if Orochimaru is even relative to Hiruzen, because I don't even think that's the case.
Okay,
I think
so I'm
that
saying
I
because
think
I'm
that he
okay. Do
the
you
factors and the
okay?
stressed him so much that Orochimaru got the upper hand on him. Right. And
Okay,
I
hold
also
on.
think that his
Hold
love
on,
for
but
Orochimaru.
okay. So I'm saying, okay, I know what you're saying. You're saying like, okay, but I'm saying the variables you gave, the main variable was A, that he could be holding back, or excuse me, that because he was
That's
taking the
not what
village,
I
that's it.
said.
Okay, were you not say that given certain factors he can be nerfed?
No, I was saying given certain effects, like I'm gonna reduce it down to like things that he perceives and stuff like that. Those
No,
can
I
cause
know what
like
you're saying.
mental drains on him,
You say you can be
right?
stressed. Hold on, real quick. You
External
say, no, you
stimuli
say,
can
hold on.
cause,
Oh my
psychological
gosh.
effects that make him
I know,
perform
you're saying, okay, hold
physically
on,
at a
okay,
lower
official,
state.
I know what you're saying. You're
Now,
saying, hold on, okay, official, are you,
so
to
I'm
be clear,
saying
you're
lower
saying,
state can
oh
exist
my
while
God.
true strength can exist. I'm not seeing a contradiction. So I need motivation for why it's not referencing what I'm talking about. Because
Okay,
if
so,
not, then you don't really
bruh.
have motivation for what you're saying is
Okay,
problematic.
hold
And
on.
here
Okay,
I
hold
am,
on.
I could
Okay,
just stem
I
from
know what you're
truth.
saying. Okay, I know
Okay.
what you're saying. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying the main variables you gave for why he could be not go or not be able to maximize his capabilities is A, right? Whenever he can fuck the Edo. B, he can be underlying nerf given the fact that like he's protecting the village and shit like that, right? I'm just saying if you're saying C because he can be stressed from protecting the village or being the Hokage, and that stimuli can nerf him, right? I'm saying that okay, unless it gets heightened in whenever he's fighting a tomorrow, that stress from is a constant. So I'm saying whenever we're gauging Hiruzen, that would be the one that we're using, the one that's stressing us like that. But obviously in this fight, for me,
But that's a
stressing from being the Hokage.
presupposition. The
Okay,
stress not being a constant is a presupposition. And normally when you
okay. Do
have
you think?
stress,
Do you
hey,
think?
wait,
Hold
do
on.
you know
Okay,
how stress works?
okay.
It's gonna cause really bad like physical effects. Like it scars your body. It's not just like a regular type of like emotional process. Like stress is gonna directly
Don't you
affect
think? Hold
performance.
on.
You're
Okay,
gonna
but
be more
I'm saying it's a
drowsy,
basic
like
possibility,
depression.
right?
Yo,
I'm saying.
wait, before
Like
y'all continue, let me
basketball
clarify
player, wait,
something.
think
So
of
look,
basketball
there was a
players.
wait, official, hold on. There was a comment made in chat that people are sobbing for some reason. Let me clarify. Yes, official in almost every single way currently is way better than any version of Chrome in the com so far. What the fuck? I don't know why y'all niggas are sobbing or
Nigga,
questioning.
you only saying that because of the allegations, nigga. Fuck on.
Wait, no, but bro, I still talk to
Nah,
Chrome,
Yeah,
retard.
nah.
Chrome, Chrome,
I
Official
still
definitely is
talk
going
to
Chrome.
Chrome. I still talk
Chrome
to Chrome,
was
dumbass. I
I'm
still
not
talk
Nah,
to
gonna lie.
Chrome
Chrome,
was
nigga.
sin, nigga.
I'm not gonna lie. I already beat Chrome. I'm finna drop
he
that.
did
I'm
be
You
finna
Chrome.
can't
I'm
drop
not
that.
gonna
beat
lie,
me, nigga.
he did be
Yeah.
Chrome. I'm not gonna lie,
I'm
he
gonna
is better
drop
than
that.
Chrome.
Bro, Sing,
He
bro.
is better
Hey,
than
hold
Chrome.
on. Wait,
He is better
wait,
than
wait. Hold
Chrome.
on, hold on. Wait.
There's
Let's get back.
steps to
Can I,
this
can
shit,
I get the
nigga.
mod?
Hey, bro,
Can I get
official beat Apollo. Chrome has no
the,
fee
wait,
compared to
hold
my nigga.
on.
Chrome, bro, I fuck with Chrome. I still talk to Chrome, my
Infinity,
nigga.
you say anybody beat anyone, nigga.
No,
I'm
Alright?
not
you
gonna
are
lie. Wait,
retarded.
Now,
Look, well,
wait,
You
obviously
hold
the
don't
on.
say that
only
you be
nigga. You
careless. You
the
didn't beat Bradley.
only
You
nigga.
didn't beat
You
you
the
didn't beat
only
Mono.
nigga that
You
can
didn't
Chrome
beat
beat
convince
B-
people.
careless.
No.
Chrome
You
beat
the
Noodles who beat
only nigga.
Apollo.
He is the only nigga that can convince people that careless be fucking sin.
I would have way. Hold on. I
I
would have way
never
better
said.
arguments
Okay,
for
you're autistic,
Itachi
bro.
versus
What
Ruzen
hold on, y'all
No,
because
chill
I
out,
have
y'all
you
chill
said
out,
that
y'all
for
chill out. Hold on,
Kage.
okay, okay. Can we continue our debate, bro? Chill out. Hold
Cause
on, chill
Kage
out.
did
Yeah,
beat
wait,
Simp,
wait,
nigga.
Sinji, would you be
No,
cool?
he
Because
didn't like this nigga.
I've already expressed the different types of
Yo, can you
No,
stop
I know
making
what
that
you're saying.
nasty ass
been
Yo,
fucking
given
Hold on.
face
Itachi
with
I
is
your
just
mic
wanna.
cheating,
open?
bro.
You're sad.
I'm
I
alright
already
with you.
talked
So I just
about
wanna.
this. But can I
I just
get
wanna
Nigga,
respond.
you post with a
can I get the
toaster.
motivation for Hiruzen? Can I get the
Okay,
motivation for
okay.
Hiruzen?
I said something too, so
I'll respond to this. I'll respond to this, and then we can go into your scaling.
yes,
Okay, so
nigga.
I'm
Okay,
aware what you're
okay.
saying. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that okay, right? Unless you think that it gets heightened whenever he's fighting Orochimaru, that
Bro,
stress will
what?
also remain a hey shit. Anyway, I'm saying that the stress shit that's the basis of possibility. Given the fact that if he was given these factors,
This nigga
we would
stupid.
expect to see something similar like that. Generally, whenever a character is weakened or stronger, we would see some type of statement saying he's weaker or stronger. So given the fact
What?
we don't get any statement like that, it's probably not true. So we can
What?
just look
Wait,
at your statement.
you don't think that external stimuli like people like dying in your village and you wanting to protect them can like cause you stress?
No.
Okay,
Nah.
I'm not to the point. Okay, bro. At least for a reason specific,
Wait,
other
what's the
movies actually.
contradict? Wait, what's
Hold
the
on.
contradiction? Wait, hold on.
There's no contradiction. Hold on. Okay, real quick. Hold on. Okay, real quick, real quick, real
So
quick,
it's not
okay.
baseless. It's not baseless.
Okay, chill. Okay, brother, chill out. Okay, I'm by base. I'm saying if his brother that's grounded in the series. So I'm saying that not to the point where Hiruzen is exponentially weakened and whenever he's fighting over tomorrow.
Well, I already correlated it to like how your mental,
Bro.
has to do with your chakra distribution. If your chakra distribution is
Okay.
not
Well,
above
then
your
if that
neck,
point
oh
goes,
my
so you
god,
just come out skating.
or not at its not at a certain quality, you're obviously going to be relatively
Just
weaker.
look to your skeleton then. Just look to your
Now,
skeleton.
okay,
Just look to
boom,
your
boom, boom.
skeleton.
So it wasn't baseless. Okay, cool. So certain things that I think are in favor of Hiruzen in this fight are, I guess, like his age and experience. You know, he's been around people like Hashirama and Tobirama, and he
Mm-hmm.
said to have surpassed them in ninjutsu. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Itachi doesn't really have the narrative statements or implications that he's a shinobi on the caliber of like Hashirama, and Hashirama already has the narrative of being like a godlike shinobi. So
Okay.
Itachi
He is
doesn't really
too.
have that. Okay, wait. So Itachi doesn't have that sort of like narrative implication, but Hiruzen already does. So I can say that
Mm-hmm.
we have more motivation for him being a performatively better combatant, given narrative implications, rather
Mm-hmm.
than other than like Itachi. So like
Okay, you're saying
we also have that he fought in like wars and stuff too. So
okay. So are you aware of the fact that okay, his reason says this. He says he has hella experience and he has hella like powerful AP in terms of ninjutsu. But he says in a
oh yeah,
database
and he
that
has all five
in this
chakra
fight,
natures.
yeah, he says in this fight, a lot of it being the case, he's no match for Orochimaru's talent. So yeah, I can grant that. But I don't know why whenever he's making this so that's applicable in battle whenever he's fighting
So when
Orochimaru.
you say so when he says his talent again, that could be in context to his current state, given like other external factors, which I already gave motivation for. So under my interpretation,
External fact, but this
wait,
is before they fought though. This is
listen,
before they fought
wait, stop. So under
type
my
shit.
interpretation, this isn't something that's like unexpected because Hiruzen, what's his name, would be having to comment on specifically Orochimaru's, abilities in this specific encounter and stuff like that. It would have to be a factor
Yeah.
that's like affecting him. Otherwise, it'd be an easy fight. So I don't think that's counter
Okay,
evidence
I know what you're
motivation for
saying, but
me.
you're saying
Okay,
okay,
cool.
but
Wait,
I'm saying
wait,
hold on.
wait,
All right.
listen. Okay, so in a vacuum, again, I'm saying we have that he has more experience. The narrative implies him to be of a certain caliber that Itachi doesn't have, which is going to be expected in the
Mhm.
scenario and would be true in the scenario where these are different caliber of shinobi in context of strength, in speed,
Okay,
etc. Okay, so
I'm saying those factors, bruh.
listen. He also has five chakra natures, which directly counters what's named Itachi's fire style. So if it's like so, okay. So
Bruh.
what's Itachi's answer to that?
Okay, so two things. First thing is that okay, if he's making a statement before they fight, then all the factors that you're talking about wouldn't apply then. Second thing is that
Wait,
maybe okay, let's say
Wait, give the argument for that. And I don't even know that was too
wait, okay,
vague. I don't even know what you're
I'll
talking
give the
about.
argument. Okay, I'll
Nick,
give the
damn,
argument.
chill out. Oh my
Okay,
god, I
no,
know
I
you're
didn't even.
losing. I know you're
Let me
losing,
respond.
but chill,
Okay, let me
You don't gotta
respond. Let
trip
me
like
respond to
that.
the second.
I just
Okay,
said it was
first, let me
vague.
respond. Hold on,
Okay,
let me
go ahead.
respond to the second thing you said. Let me respond to the
Go ahead.
second thing you said. Then we can.
What?
I give
No,
the argument for
respond to the first thing I said. I didn't even know what you were talking about. You said if X
okay.
statement such, and then you said some vague shit like all of that other shit doesn't apply or doesn't matter. Why would I agree to some
Okay,
shit like that?
Bro,
Like,
He has
okay.
sink next to
I'm not
Ryan.
saying I'm not saying you agree with it. I'm just
He
saying
has
I'll
sink next to
respond.
Ryan.
Wait, he has what?
booty,
Oh
booty, booty.
no. See, no. Oh no. I'm
Oh my
saying
god.
official. What I'm saying is that, and kind of to the second thing you said, that's not indicative of her reason winning because Itachi's other factors such as Sharingan or the
Wait. What do
Mangekyo.
you mean?
He can use.
He has an elemental advantage. That is indicative of him winning.
Okay, I'm saying that whenever
His
Orochimaru, I said
jutsu is
Orochimaru,
gonna
my
be
bad.
so
Okay.
we have more motivation for in a vacuum that Hiruzen would be stronger because of his elemental advantage. We don't have anything that really poses the idea that Itachi has like the type of
Yeah.
advantages that Hiruzen has. But here we have experience and we have the implication of him just being a whole different caliber of shinobi. And then we don't even have any motivation for Itachi. So we have
Okay,
things
hold
that
on. Okay,
portray the idea of
I
Hiruzen
know.
being
Okay,
above.
hold on. But I'm
Okay, so
okay.
you can see. Okay, cool. So I have arguments and
Let
evidence
me
for my position.
let me respond
So
to what
you
you're
need to
saying
give
though,
evidence
bruh.
for your position.
Okay, brother, chill out. I know what you're saying, but you have to let me speak. So you want a response for it, so let me speak. I'm
no.
saying that tell you shit. I'm saying that in kind of to the first thing you said, right? The narrative implication. I'm saying in despite of this narrative implication, we have multiple things like A, Hiruzen saying that in despite of the fact that you gave his experiences, his chakra nations, all that shit, right? He says that I'm no match for Orochimaru. I'm saying that if it's just before the fight, right? Whenever they say he has an equal battle, the fact is that you would apply. If that's prior, the factor or the factors isn't gonna apply, right? The second thing I'm saying, hold on, the second thing,
Hold
hold on, the
on,
second, hold on, okay, real
hold on.
quick,
I
hold on,
understand the
official.
argument.
Hold on, chill out. The second thing I'm
I'm
saying
chilling.
is that him having better chakra and shit like that That's cool and all. I'm saying that given the fact that the way Itachi fights is by putting niggas in Tsukuyomis and using Amaterasu and shit like that, that means that him having better AP, that's fine and all. Itachi can just out hacks him.
Uh,
Mm.
okay,
Good
so as
boy.
far as like the I'm no match for Orochimaru, what's the time period for him making that statement? Because if it's before Konoha Crush, listen, I still have evidence and motivation for it. Just like him running the village and stuff like that.
You
He,
ain't
I
got
think
no
him
motivation,
running the
fuck
village and
nigga.
stuff like
Just
that. His thing
chubby.
Okay,
is just like
but obviously the narrative
but like,
implication.
wait,
Okay,
listen,
but
listen, wait, hold on, listen. But if it's during Konoha Crush, all of those things like Shinobi and stuff like that, he's a loving Hokage. He's gonna care if all these people are dying, and he's gonna want to get through this process as fast as possible. But again, he's seeing the destruction as well as dealing with Ito and stuff like that. Then seeing the dead faces of like his former masters being put against his will and stuff like that. These are all things that would are likely to cause like psychological stress. Like these people like
I don't know.
raised like wait, listen. So depending on the context, what I'm saying it still follows. So I don't think that he's gonna say I'm no match for Orochimaru. I don't even matter of fact, I'm not even gonna grant that statement fucking existing until you get me a scan.
I
Either
Wow.
sent
way,
in I
if
sent
it's
in profile.
before or after, I already have motivation, so it's fine. And then as
Okay,
far as
so
like the
but
out hacks
okay.
him, I don't grant that he can out hacks him. I don't even know what out haxing means in context to like Naruto, but again, I think it's very unlikely given the fact that he has more experience and he was in war times where Uchiha were around, so I don't think Genjutsu is likely going to work on him because he survived
Yeah.
a lot of encounters with people with Genjutsu and the whole narrative of the Sharingan. People were
Yeah,
known.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay,
Okay,
but
okay, okay.
okay,
So it's
Mm.
likely that he
okay.
has counters.
Let me
So that's not
respond.
motivate. Okay, so I don't think we have motivation for Itachi.
Hey, that
This
nigga
nigga
D
got,
editing
nigga
is
got a Mount
Okay,
Rushmore head.
crazy.
This nigga got a Mount Rushmore.
okay, y'all chill out. Y'all chill out. Y'all chill
Yeah.
out. Y'all chill out. Okay, oh, y'all chill out. Y'all chill out. Okay, so if the reason you're using is older reason, I'm just saying that the fact that this do apply, like him being old and shit, that him being stressed because of the village, whenever he's old, if that's the original reason you're using, I'm saying those factors still apply when he's old. So the exact same area that you're
He's
talking
old,
about, saying
yeah. Oh
he's
yeah,
the
I forgot he's
strongest.
older. I
He,
forgot he's like old. Like to be honest, I
yeah,
think
okay. Hold on,
stress
real
would
quick.
make
I'm
his
saying,
body performatively act more old than it does. Because I've seen my grandma when she gets stressed, she's performatively way
no,
old and moves way
yeah.
less. Like you can look at basketball players, but like I'm not even capping for
Okay,
real.
yeah,
Can
I know
we
what you're
just
saying. I know what
conclude?
you're
Can we
saying,
just
but it's like
conclude?
I know what you're saying, but it's like I'm saying the narrative that you're applying, like him being like him having a large nerve from being the strongest nigga. I'm saying that if that's older reason, that means the fact is of him like protecting the village and like him being old and all that bullshit and being stressed. That would also apply.
You feel
Can
like
you repeat? Can you
I'm
repeat what
not
you
gonna
said
lie.
for the Itachi
I
shit?
can't even hear what you're talking. Oh wait, to be honest, if you feel like you attacked everything, I'm just gonna let whatever you said slide because I don't feel like it attacked what I said. But I didn't even hear you for real.
Okay,
But I'm cool with concluding.
can you repeat? Okay, just repeat what the Itachi shit that you said for the chakra initiations and shit, like the second part, and then we can
Oh
conclude.
well, he has elemental advantages. He knows every
No, but
chakra nature.
I said
I
out. You
don't think
said something
Itachi
about out
knows he
hexing.
knows every chakra nature, so that's something that can like catch him off guard. Like let's say like Itachi tries to use like a fire style or something like that. And Hiruzen uses a water style, but Hiruzen also knows Shadow Clone Jutsu. So he can use Earth style or like put a clone or something like that. And then Itachi be like, "What? He knows Earth style?" It could be like some Naruto, and he has more experience, so it's likely that he's gonna catch him off guard. And he already fought people with Sharingan, so I don't think the
Okay,
Sharingan
okay. So
with him.
who has he fought?
Naruto
Who has he
gave
fought with the
motivation
mount?
for that. He
Who
was
has he
around. He was
fought?
around. He was around during the war period with people who had the Sharingan.
Why can't they use Tsukiyomi or Amaterasu? Because I'm pretty sure that Sharingan
I
is
don't
like
think
the
that. I don't think those existed in part one. I don't even think he had
okay no
mastery.
but you're
Even if it
saying
does, I don't think he had. I don't even think he knew how to. I don't think he was efficient enough to apply it on Hiruzen because
okay
I
well
think
then
he had
Bro,
they do
I'm
exist.
so
that
They
fucking.
what
requires
hold
certain
on
conditioning.
real quick
That
they do
requires
exist
certain
because
conditioning to give motivation for him being efficient enough to apply that ability.
okay when you asked me earlier what do you mean okay what does out hex mean? By out hex I just mean like applying his abilities like like the Sharingan to the point where he can outskill Hiruzen. That's what I mean
Bro,
by
shut the
out hex
fuck
by
up
the way.
before I bend you,
And real
bitch.
quick, hold on. Okay, Rick, bro, can you stop? Can you shut the fuck up, please? Thank you. Anyway, uh, and anyway, like I was saying, anyway, back to the relevant shit. Um, I'm saying that if he can apply it to a level where he off guard to reason because he's too powerful with it, him having hella experience doesn't matter if they're
I
not
don't
to the
think
level
that's
as he
possible.
thought he was. Right? Like for
You
example,
get
hold on real
why
quick.
that's you
For
get
for
why that's
example,
probable or plausible.
no, you're unaffirmed. I'm saying that these are possibilities that
No,
were possible.
you're on the no, you're on the
You
affirmative. What I
affirming
gave
because you were
no,
affirming
I
you
gave a response
like
to
that
say
shit.
why it's likely because he knows of the Sharingan. He was fought in wars during the times where they were fighting against the Uchiha. So I'm saying, well, since he knows of those things and he was like running the village, it doesn't really make sense for him to just be not having knowledge of like the Sharingan's intricacies if it's like a widely known thing that you have to watch for
No,
this
no,
specific
no.
aspect
He
of it.
doesn't know.
Like
Okay,
we
we
have
don't know
kids,
that.
we have kids
We
like
don't know
Rock
that.
Lee. Wait, listen,
We
listen.
don't know
Rock
that. We don't
Lee
know
knows
whether or
about
not.
this, and this rumor
Like
existed
shit.
before him.
They
Like
they,
it's
they
not.
know. No, they're aware of the strong, but have they applied? They don't know. I don't know if you can prove that.
You don't know if I can prove that, but I can provide why it's likely.
Okay, no, you're saying that since he's fought people with the Sharingan, because I'm pretty sure they said learn the Mangekyo is like a rare ability. So like the precog shit they can know about the Sharingan,
Did
the
he?
basic form of it.
I don't think
The
he needs
Mangekyo,
that. Okay, so
but the Mangekyo, hold on, real quick,
I
the
think he would.
Mangekyo, I don't
I
know why
think
he
he
knows
would
about
go
that.
blind instantly. I don't think he's efficient in the Begenkyo. You can get
Okay,
motivation.
yeah, he used the Tsukiyomi, yeah, he used the Mangekyo 3 times in one day. He does it against Kakashi, he does it against Sasuke, he does it against he uses Amaterasu whenever he's fighting
Yeah,
Jiraiya.
but wait, that's a Jonin class. Oh, he's a Hokage. He's a Hokage class shinobi. I don't see motivation for why I would apply it.
Jiraiya seems to be
No,
equal. Okay,
Jiraiya is
if
a Sanin. No, Jiraiya is a Sanin.
they both have statements for being the strongest nigga, so it doesn't matter.
No, they don't have statements for being the strongest.
Do you want that statement or what?
Stronger than Hiruzen, or strongest
No,
what?
like they're said to be on par with Hiruzen whenever he's old.
On par with Hiruzen whenever he's old.
hmm Which
You
is
know
the
what?
same statement. You said what?
You know what on par means?
Like on the same level?
No, you can give the argument for that, but give me those statements. And I
I
think
got you.
I don't. Yeah, I just wouldn't agree.
Yeah, hold on. Well, are you fine? Well, I'll say the statement if you want me to.
This all I'm saying, what's the fucking reason? Fucking hell, why y'all niggas not speaking? Why y'all niggas not speaking? Why y'all niggas not speaking? Ugly ass nigga, and this nigga.
Yeah, we could
Bro,
get.
can you stop,
Yeah, we
bro?
Yeah, I
could
You
get.
don't.
stop
I mean,
being
I don't think.
weird.
Oh
I don't
shit,
think
my
that
fault,
should
y'all.
exist. I don't think that should exist. I've never seen no statement that said.
Yeah, on, brother. Bro, he's. I don't know.
But
I don't know why he's
again,
being weird.
again, that could just be in context to like Hiruzen and like his state because of like stress as Okage and blah blah blah. So that doesn't give motivation
If
in a
it okay, well,
vacuum.
if
So that
it
could just not
okay,
apply to Hiruzen in a vacuum. So it doesn't matter.
okay. So, well, I think okay. If it's just gonna go back to that, we can just end the debate with that because I think I already accounted for that.
You said what?
I say if it's just gonna go back to like the stress shit, then we can. I think I already responded to that, so we can just end the debate.
Oh wait, so you're cool. Okay, cool. All right. Well,
All
do
right,
you
bet. All right, good debate. Good debate.